When I went from failing out of over 7 classes to graduating with honors while working 2 jobs and building a company, I did it using what I call a personal growth plan, although back then I had no idea that that's what I was doing. And ever since I took myself from being quote unquote a failing student to being a really amazing student, I have been using personal growth plans to help me achieve things like building my business, creating a planner from scratch, becoming a nurse, losing 30 pounds, making a baby, paying off all my credit card debt. It has been like at the forefront of everything that I do. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to create your own personal growth plan so that you can become the type of student that you hope to be. I'm Clarissa. I'm an academic life coach. I help adult college students earn straight A's without spending all of their time studying. And these are the steps that you want to take if you want to build out your own personal growth plan to help you to achieve whatever goals it is that you have for yourself this semester. So the very first thing that you want to start with is what I call a life evaluation, because the first thing that you're going to want to do when you're creating your personal growth plan is you want to decide which area of your life you want to focus in on. And a lot of students have trouble narrowing down where they want to focus. And so I take my students that I work with privately one-on-one as well as inside of my group academic life coaching program called Study School through something that I call Create Your Perfect Semester. And in it, I have them rate every area of their life right now on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is, I hate this, I wish it was entirely different, and 10 is, I love this area of my life, I wouldn't change anything, it's absolutely perfect. And what I then have them do is take a look at those numbers, organize them from lowest score to highest score, and to pick one of the areas in which they've scored themselves the lowest to focus on for the next 90 days and to create their personal growth plan around. Once you've figured out which area you want to focus in on, the next thing that you need to do is you need to get clear on what your goal is going to be for that area. So if you're picking academics, for example, which I assume most of you are working towards if you're watching me on this YouTube channel, let's say that that's something that you want to improve. You're currently at a 5 and you'd like to be at an 8 or a 9. You're going to pick a goal, and maybe that goal is to learn how to plan out your week every single week. Maybe that goal is to learn how to read your textbook more effectively. Maybe that goal is a grade-related goal, but you want to get really clear on what is it that I want to create, who is it that I need to be to create that, and what am I going after here? Why is it so important? Once you're really clear on the goal that you're working towards, the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick the resources and the skills that you're going to need to learn to make that goal as good as done. My recommendation here is that you pick one teacher, one book, one YouTube channel to follow, and you go all in on doing what that person says to do to achieve the goal it is that you're after. So if you're here on this YouTube channel and your goal is to become a better student, and that to you means achieving a B+ in every single one of your classes, you could choose me as your teacher, and you could watch all of the videos that I have on how to be a better student, and you could take the time to apply everything that I say to do, actually put it into action, which takes me to the next step, which I think is step number 4 is where we're at right now. You want to decide ahead of time how much time you're going to dedicate every week towards working towards improving this area of your life. I do not care how much time that is. It does not need to be 5 hours a day, 7 days a week. It could be half hour, 3 days a week. It could be an hour, 5 days a week. It could be 4 hours, 1 day a week. Just you get to decide how much time you're going to dedicate and spend towards improving this area of your life. And when I talk about working towards it, what I mean is you're carving out time to watch videos or read a book or work with a mentor to help you to learn the resources and the skills that you're going to need to learn in order to make that goal as good as done. You also need to carve out time to put into practice what you're reading about, what you're watching about, what your mentor, the assignments that your mentor is helping you with, or the things that they're telling you is going to help you to achieve that goal. So you have time carved out to actually learn and consume, and then there's time cut out to put all the things that you're learning into practice. And again, you get to decide how much time that is. You get to decide when that is. The next step after that, step 5, is to actually do it, to actually follow through on the plan that you put into place. And if you are finding that it's difficult to put that plan into place, it's difficult for you to carve out the time, then part of your personal growth plan is to find out why, to figure out what's going on for you internally that you're not able to show up for yourself the way that you want to show up. And that needs to be a part of your personal growth plan, because if you can't get yourself to hire the mentor, to watch the video, to read the book, if you can't get yourself to put into practice what you're learning from the mentor, what you're learning from a video, what you're learning from the book that you're reading, that's going to help you to learn the skills that you need to learn to achieve this goal, you're never going to get better. You're never going to actually start gaining traction towards that goal and improving that area of your life. And so if you find yourself struggling, you need to figure out why, and that piece of it needs to be included as part of your personal growth plan. So it might be that, you know, the skills it is that you're using aren't working for you. Okay, so then what else do you need to focus on? It might be that you can't get out of your own way. Your mindset is really screwing you up here. Okay, well then learning how to change your mindset needs to become a part of your personal growth plan, which means you're going to have to find a mentor for that, or find a book, or find a resource for that to learn that skill, and that's going to have to be included as part of your plan. Okay, we're gonna like, when I create a personal growth plan, I'm creating it from the perspective of like, things are gonna go wrong, life is gonna happen, I'm going to make mistakes, I'm going to hit rough spots, I'm gonna get stuck. And instead of making it mean that I can't achieve this goal and that I can't improve this area of my life, I sit down and I evaluate why it's not going the way that I thought, and I then include that as part of my plan as something that I need to work on if I really am committed to improving this area of my life. The final thing that you're going to need to include as part of your personal growth plan is tracking and self-evaluation. When I talk about tracking, what I mean is tracking everything, not just when you've hit a milestone. I mean all of the work that you're doing up until you hit a mini milestone or you actually achieve the goal and improve that area of your life. Because day to day, when you are putting into practice your personal growth plan, it's gonna feel like nothing is happening. It's gonna feel like nothing is changing. You're gonna feel like you're stuck and not going anywhere. And so that what the tracking does is it shows you how things are actually different, how things are actually changing. And when you can see the difference, you can see the change, you can see the progress, you're more likely to stick with it long enough to actually achieve the improvement in that area and the goal it is that you're after. Self-evaluating is important because you need to figure out what's working, what's not working, and what needs to change. Because as you're putting your personal growth plan into practice, things are going to come up. You might have thought that this is the teacher that you needed to follow. These are the videos that you wanted to watch, and you've tried it for 30 days and it's not working. You need to be able to figure out why. That doesn't happen if you're not pausing to evaluate what's working, what's not working, and where do I need to pivot and what needs to change. I promise you that if you create a personal growth plan with these steps, you do the self-evaluation and you commit to sticking to your personal growth plan for at least 90 days, my recommendation is that you do it until you get the result that you want. But at a minimum 90 days, you will be so much further along than if you don't put a plan like this in place. One of the things that I do with students as an academic life coach is help them to create a personal growth plan. And then I am walking side by side with them as they're tracking, as they're doing the self-evaluation, as they're putting things into practice. I'm helping them to learn the skills that they need to learn as a student. And it just makes this process go so much smoother because I'm able to ask to answer any questions that you have about the area that you're improving and the mentors that you're going to be using, the resources, the skills, all of that. And if you're interested in having me personally help you not only create a personal growth plan, but then coach you through actually following through and making your goal as good as done, schedule a complimentary consult call with me. On that call, what you're going to figure out and learn is what's not working for you, why it's not working, and the gap that needs to be filled. And if it makes sense, I will invite you to hire me as your academic life coach. If it makes sense, meaning that I can actually help you solve the problem and help you create a personal growth plan in that area and help you to learn the skills, make the mindset shifts, all of those things that need to happen in order for you to actually make that goal in that personal growth plan as good as done. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're someone who doesn't know whether or not right now is a good time for you to create your own personal growth plan, my recommendation for you is to watch my videos on mindset. First video is how to feel better. And then the second video is how to change your mindset as a college student to achieve your goals, because those two videos are going to give you the insight that you need on whether or not you're truly where it is that you need to be / want to be and what's getting in your way. Once you've identified that, it will help you to make the decision on, okay, yes, I want to move forward with changing this area of my life, or I want to improve the things that I'm experiencing, and I want to create a personal growth plan.